Okay, hello everybody. This is Sharonda again, and this is my podcast as well as my YouTube channel, Spiritual Sense. Today is Sunday, which is September the 11th, and I'm going to briefly dive into the topic for today. So, I recorded a podcast some time ago, as well as a YouTube presentation in regards to spiritual manifestation, and I'm going to do an update on that now. And so I got some information pulled up here. And what is spiritual manifestation? So I'm going to pull up the definition of spiritual manifestation. Okay, so basically, spiritual manifestation is that you can bring your dreams and desires into being. Um, it's the law of attraction, the secret New Age concepts in regards to the law of attraction. Um, Give me just one moment. I'm pulling up another website. So it says the idea behind spiritual manifestation is that you can bring your dreams and desire into being by regularly meditating and thinking positively. Spiritual manifestation is one of the new age concepts of the law of attraction, which is so true. I've had a book, um, All the Things You Ever Wanted, and I had to put away somewhere. I haven't opened that book in a few years now, but um, is how basically the thoughts can be put into the atmosphere. So if you are someone who perhaps have some like if you pray to God about something, or if you always question about something, and in essence God will put you in a mode or put you in a uh, means to where it would essentially manifest into your reality. And give me just one moment because I need to upload my last recording on my daily reader. So bear with me just a moment with that. Typically, I have this already pulled up prior to. Okay. So basically, if it's something that you wanted in life and you desired for in life, basically, um, God will put you into a sensibility to where it represent out in the atmosphere, like the thoughts or what have you. So it can work favorably or unfavorably, meaning positively or negatively. So if you are someone who um, is positive, typically, well, that's what you would have gravitate to you. That's what will perpetuate around you as positivity, and it will flourish around you. But if you are someone who may be plagued with, um, negative emotions and feelings and things, that will perpetuate. And you will, you know, the law of attraction. That's what you will be gravitated to, or it will gravitate to you. So it could work either way. Um, so I'm on the website. It mentions about tips in regards to practicing spiritual manifestation and how to manifest your dreams. Number one, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Um, Everything is not going to be cookie cutter. Everything is not going to be straight laced. You're going to have some uh, obstacles in life, um, that would strengthen you and make things better for you. And I'm spinning off of this because my, interpretation of spiritual manifestation is a little bit more different than the websites that I'm on, but I'm just using it as a guide. Um, you know how it just quiet your inner critic. So basically, you're gonna have that little voice inside that may say something to the contrary to what you feel. That is that's a taunting spirit. If you go back and go over my podcast in regards to taunting spirits, where the insecurities of things of that sort, the naysayers that comes from within, is to break your confidence or what have you. So, in certain instances, you have to learn to keep that at bay. It's to build your confidence. You got to be confident and sure of yourself. I'm not gonna read a lot of these because a lot of this entails something that is not in regards to my interpretation of spiritual manifestation. Okay, so we're gonna go to the next website. Um, make this a ritual, make this an everyday practice. If you're someone that is into rituals like candle burning and things of the sort, that can help with your spiritual manifestation. If you have an altar, I mentioned about altars and things of the sort where you might want to set out to the gods and ancestors and things of that sort in regards to something that you have been um, wanting clarity and assistance with. Um, so take out time to do this throughout the day, whether it's early morning or midday or even late at night. Let's see. Once you have, partake in a ritual or, you go to your altar, you ask for things, give it time to work. Everything is not going to be instantaneously, although you may have times where they are. So the universe needs to process and get everything into alignment for you. The universe has something better in mind. So just trust and understand that, although we wanted things on our time, the universe has things at this time. Um, Gratitude, show appreciation, do things that make you feel good and make others feel, good as well. This will provide a sense of harmony, delight, and gratitude. Be thankful for people who are in your life. Show them that you appreciate them and you respect and honor them. Um, and of course, you want to pay homage to God and the God in people. That helped you throughout your journey in life to get you where you are. Keep a journal, write some affirmations, your deepest thoughts, reaffirming affirmations when you're feeling down and out. You might want to poetry write and things of that sort. Um, so basically, I'm going to go a little bit more in depth than what this websites are providing because spiritual manifestation, in my um, understanding, is when you are questioning about something, like something that you have questioned. I think a lot of spiritual manifestation in life comes by way of children. Like oftentimes as we as children and us, growing up and coming to our own, we will begin to question and want to know about a lot of things. And in essence, when we mate with the opposite sex to produce children or to create children, um, a lot of that you will see in your children. A lot of the things that you question, you wondered about, or you went to God about, it will manifest in your children. this happens on a bigger scale as well. Say for instance, in terms of identity or self-identity and culture and things of the sort. You may be curious about historical things such as I mentioned, cultural wise, like give an example, perhaps the civil rights movement or and things of the sort, and how things came about in regards to um, the Native Americans and things of that sort. So I think in essence, God has a way in regards to scientific and genetics to do things that are contrary to what we see to bring about an answer. So say for instance, how they mention in regards to a certain people was wiped out, or a certain species of animals and things was wiped out and become extinct. And I think in essence, when you question about things, like when you wonder about certain things, God has a way of the genetics being for it to come back again, is what I'm getting at. To provide insight, understanding in regards to a moment in time. So say for instance, in reference to, the biblical text. Many people question, but I think a lot of people are told and discouraged from questioning. But I think many people question things, and when you begin to do that, God will allow that to manifest back into this time in existence. So, say for instance, if it was a group of people from a time ago, and you began to wonder, well, how were people back then, and how did they look, and what was the culture and things of that sort? And when you begin to do that, that spirit will manifest into our time in existence as we know now. The same as in reference to like species, different, animal species and things of the sort. It will manifest, and that's when you will have a mutation in genes or genetics, because this is God giving you that answer to something you may wanted to know. Now, as we would know it here in this time in existence, we would say, okay, genetic manipulation or modification, genetic modification or cloning or things of the sort. So this basically is what these scientists are doing, but it's being done by way of God because of a desire to know prior to the desire to know and to gain that insight about what happened hundreds of years ago, even thousands of years ago. So when there is a thirst or a hunger for certain knowledge and understanding, God would he would bring it into fruition to where you would gain higher sensibility. This is it. This is how God works. So say for instance, if you've been someone who's wanted to know in regards to, you know, well, why is there so many different ethnicities and languages and dialects and things of the sort? And once God has given you that inclination about a question, it will manifest out into the environment. So on a more smaller scale of things, personal things in regards to, the history of um, their family history. Were we slaves, or were we of royalty? Were we of a royal dynasty and things of that sort? And so when you begin to question God, He will manifest it into people. And it's kind of like similar to when you watch the TV and you see people act and emulate on the TV for entertainment. It happens the same way in this existence. Oftentimes, the people are not even aware of how God uses them as a answer to a question. So that's essentially how life happens, oddly enough. So that's basically what my interpretation of spiritual manifestation is. Now, if you're someone who are, have the desire for more and have the desire for, abundance and things of that sort, you can go to God and say, okay, I want this, I desire to have this, and kind of write out they say a prayer or petition or things of that sort to have that manifest in your life if that's what you truly desire to do. Um, you know, will you always get the things that you want in this life experience? I think you would get a lesson about what is important and relevant in this life experience. Now, if it's just so happen that God sees that you get abundance, okay, then it shall be. But I think most rewarding of all is to acquire um, knowledge and wisdom, particularly about history and how things came about, and how things are the way they are. It's more rewarding than anything. I mean, of course, we want to have a good living and a good quality of life, but I think knowledge is more powerful than anything. And I think what is going on right now is that many individuals are having a thirst and a hunger for knowledge and things that are coming into being and things that are what they are. And so, as I mentioned, oftentimes God will put things in your mind's eye. And even, sometimes when I'm doing my podcasting or, my YouTube channel and things of the sort, he'll begin to put an image in my head in regards to certain things. And one of the things was in regards to the things that are being conveyed and said about a new world and a new world order. So it was brought to my attention that many of, you know, Black Americans that are born and that live in these lands, meaning North America, many of them were already here. That is something from family ties already here. And it's something told me that they were going back and forth. It was a back and forth from the motherland to this land. And what was happening is there was a new world order, meaning it was a new way of doing things. People wanted to expand out and begin to build up a newness, a different way of being. And that's where you had the disbursement of many tribes and cultures and things of the sort because they wanted things to be different than what was common or popular amongst, certain folk. And this is what the new world is. The new world order comes in different cycles. It's not no hallmark, sensibility. This is a common thing that occurs on a consistent basis. And I think, in essence, because of jealousy and things of the sort, people become angry. They become mad, and they was trying to keep people, keep certain groups of people from wanting to have more and be more. And if you begin to look at how things work now in this life experience, a lot of people get emotionally tied, of course, to loved ones, friends, and family alike, and they want them to keep and stay in their, nest egg. But I think, it took something monumental to happen to get that to change. And that's basically what the term or what is being conveyed in terms of New World Order. It was a new way of doing things, and everybody wants to go off and certain like-minded individuals desire to move to do something else. Okay. So basically, in regards to spiritual manifestation, I think I mentioned culture shock. And let me look that word up because culture shock is essentially along the lines of spiritual manifestation, where when you had a question about something you wanted to know, and you begin to gravitate to different lands or different way of being, and this is God showing it before your eyes. It says the feeling of disorientation experienced by someone who is suddenly subjected to an unfamiliar culture, way of life, or set of attitudes. So basically, you begin to see things kind of different, like things will manifest before your eyes. Typically, when you know want to know something, and God would gravitate you to that, and it's like a wake up call. Okay, I've been thinking this, and this, and then when you get over here, it's totally different than what you may know. So this is Him essentially manifesting things before your eyes to where you can get clarity, understanding in regards to that. So basically, it's adjusting to a situation, but and that's maybe not be the best analogy to give, but I'm speaking in terms of actually seeing it through a spiritual standpoint. Culture shock is a form of spiritual manifestation, is what I'm getting at, where you can see things differently than what the people actually see. They are conditioned in where they are, and to where they desensitize and they're not able to see it no longer. That's what I'm getting at. So if you question why people do things as such, culture shock is a form of spiritual manifestation. Okay. Um, so I'm not going to go too much into culture shock, but that's basically to give an account. And as I mentioned, if you have dreams and aspirations on things, as young as being a young girl or young boy or whatever, and it manifests out and everything comes to fruition, that works. That's a similar context of spiritual manifestation, but what I'm speaking about is a little bit more different than that. Okay. So I am going to conclude this episode on spiritual sense, speaking on spiritual manifestation. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, or a topic or anything of the sort, you're more than welcome to comment below. Until then, have a safe and wonderful day. Good day.